Rosa Louise Macaulay Parks was born on February 4, 1913, in Tuskegee, Alabama. Growing up in the racially segregated South, Parks experienced the harsh realities of discrimination and segregation. Raised by her maternal grandparents, Sylvester and Rose Edwards, Parks developed a sense of pride in her African American heritage and a strong commitment to justice. From a young age, Parks witnessed the impact of racial inequality on her community. Her grandfather, a supporter of Marcus Garvey's Back to Africa movement, instilled in her a spirit of resistance against oppression. Parks's early experiences with racial injustice fueled her determination to challenge the status quo and advocate for civil rights. In the 1930s, Rosa Parks married Raymond Parks, a barber and an active member of the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. This union marked the beginning of Parks' own involvement in civil rights activism. She attended meetings and events organized by the NAACP, becoming increasingly aware of the systemic racism that permeated all aspects of society. Montgomery, Alabama, during the 1950s, was emblematic of the deeply entrenched racial segregation prevalent in the southern United States. Segregation laws, known as Jim Crow laws, enforce strict racial separation in public facilities, schools, and transportation. African Americans faced systemic discrimination, limited opportunities, and were subjected to indignities ranging from separate water fountains to unequal seating on public transportation. In Montgomery's buses, African Americans were required to sit at the back, yielding their seats to white passengers if necessary. The segregated seating arrangement was a daily reminder of the dehumanizing effects of racial segregation. African Americans were often mistreated, humiliated, and denied basic rights simply due to the color of their skin. Rosa Parks' upbringing in this racially charged environment, coupled with her growing activism, set the stage for the historic events that unfolded on December 1, 1955, when she refused to give up her seat on a Montgomery bus. The Montgomery Bus Boycott was a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement, triggered by an incident on December 1, 1955. On that day, Rosa Parks, a seamstress and civil rights activist, boarded a Montgomery bus and took a seat in the designated colored section. When the bus filled up, the driver demanded that Parks and 3 other African American passengers vacate their seats to make room for white passengers. Refusing to comply with the discriminatory order, Parks made a courageous decision to remain seated. This act of civil disobedience led to her arrest and set off a chain reaction in the African American community. News of Parks' arrest spread rapidly, sparking outrage and a collective determination to challenge the oppressive system of segregation on Montgomery's buses. The day following Parks' arrest, African American leaders, including E.D. Nixon and Joanne Robinson, called for a one-day boycott of the city's buses as a protest against Parks' mistreatment. The response from the community exceeded expectations, demonstrating a shared commitment to nonviolent resistance and the demand for equal rights. The success of the one-day boycott inspired the formation of the Montgomery Improvement Association, a group established to coordinate the ongoing protest. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a young pastor at Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, emerged as a charismatic and eloquent leader who played a central role in guiding the movement. Under King's leadership, the MIA advocated for the desegregation of Montgomery's buses and the end of discriminatory practices. The boycott continued for 381 days, during which African Americans opted for alternative transportation methods, organized carpools, and walked long distances to demonstrate their commitment to the cause. The boycott showcased the organizational skills and resilience of the African American community, demonstrating that collective action could effectively challenge entrenched racial discrimination. It also marked the rise of Martin Luther King Jr. as a prominent figure in the civil rights movement, providing a glimpse of the leadership qualities that would define his legacy. The nonviolent nature of the boycott and the strategic coordination by the MIA garnered national attention and garnered widespread support, bringing the issue of racial segregation to the forefront of public consciousness. The Montgomery Bus Boycott achieved a significant victory with the Supreme Court's ruling in Browder v. Gale on November 13, 1956. The court declared segregated seating on buses unconstitutional, marking a legal triumph for the civil rights movement. This landmark decision not only ended bus segregation in Montgomery, but also set a precedent for dismantling segregation in public transportation nationwide. The success of the boycott highlighted the potential of nonviolent resistance as a powerful tool for social change. The African American community in Montgomery, through their collective actions, demonstrated that sustained, organized protest could challenge deeply ingrained systemic racism and lead to tangible legal reforms. Rosa Parks' refusal to give up her bus seat and her subsequent role in the Montgomery Bus Boycott made her an iconic figure in the civil rights movement. Parks became a symbol of courage, resilience, and the fight against racial injustice. Her actions inspired individuals across the nation to stand up against discrimination and inequality. Beyond the boycott, Rosa Parks continued her activism and advocacy for civil rights throughout her life. She became actively involved in the NAACP and worked alongside other prominent leaders, like Martin Luther King Jr. Parks's legacy extends far beyond a single act of defiance. Her commitment to justice and equality left an indelible mark on the ongoing struggle for civil rights. The success of the Montgomery Bus Boycott had a ripple effect, sparking a wave of civil rights activism across the United States. The tactics of nonviolent resistance embraced during the boycott became central to the broader civil rights movement. Inspired by the achievements in Montgomery, other communities initiated similar protests and campaigns to challenge racial segregation in various spheres of public life. The Montgomery Bus Boycott was a catalyst for subsequent civil rights legislation, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. These landmark laws aimed to dismantle institutionalized segregation and discrimination, further advancing the cause of equal rights for all Americans. Rosa Parks and the Montgomery Bus Boycott are remembered as defining moments in the history of the civil rights movement. Parks' image and story continue to inspire generations, emphasizing the role of ordinary individuals in driving extraordinary social change. The legacy of the boycott is a testament to the resilience of marginalized communities and the potential for collective action to challenge injustice. Impact, and legacy of the Montgomery Bus Boycott extend far beyond the borders of Montgomery, leaving an enduring imprint on the struggle for civil rights in the United States. The boycott's success, coupled with Rosa Parks' unwavering commitment to justice, serves as a beacon of hope and inspiration for those advocating for equality and social justice.